Chosen one, be still. The very thing your spirit has been sensing, this truth that you passed, that heaven has marked you ready, begins right now. Beloved soul, let the atmosphere around you soften for a moment. The pressure you've been feeling these past days, the strange stirring in your chest, the quiet knowing you couldn't put into words. All of it has been heaven's way of pulling you into this exact moment. You didn't stumble here. You were summoned. Your name has been rising in the unseen, and tonight God is preparing to inject something into your spirit. Strength you didn't know you could carry, clarity you didn't know you were missing, and a blessing greater than anything your past could have predicted. Breathe slowly. Let your heart steady itself. Something sacred is approaching you, chosen one, and the weight of it has already been brushing against your soul. Tonight, the truth you were born for begins to unveil itself. You have crossed into a breakthrough season, one marked by a quiet but undeniable shift in the atmosphere around your life. The Lord has been aligning your steps with a divine purpose that has been waiting beneath the surface, waiting for the moment when your spirit would be strong enough to hear the truth without fear. Hear this. Chosen one, you passed. The tests you could not name, the spiritual weight you carried without understanding, the loneliness that tried to break you, all of it has revealed the strength heaven placed within you long before you ever met resistance. You didn't fail. You were being prepared. And now the Most High whispers, a promise that reaches deeper than reassurance. He is preparing to do the greatest thing he has ever done in you. Not in theory, not someday, not in a distant spiritual metaphor. Tonight, heaven moves with intention. Tonight, God injects into your spirit a fresh surge of resilience, clarity, elevation, and emotional healing that will stabilize your steps and lift you into a realm of abundance you once believed was impossible for you. This is destiny alignment in real time, chosen one. And as you listen, let Jeremiah 29:11 settle over your heart like warm oil. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. You are stepping into that future now, a sacred one, a future crafted with financial stability, with restored confidence, with a wealth mindset molded by heaven itself. Nothing about this moment is random. You are here because the Father has deemed you ready, ready to carry more, ready to walk differently, ready to rise. Before we go deeper, beloved soul, if this message is already stirring something in your spirit, take a moment and subscribe, like, and share. Not for numbers, not for recognition, but because every time you do, this message travels further and reaches another chosen one who is praying for the same awakening you are stepping into. Right now. Open your heart. What comes next will shake you awake in the best way. Chosen one, the weight you've been carrying was never meant to break you. It was shaping you, carving out space inside your spirit so you could hold what God is releasing now. Lately, you've felt stretched, pressed, pulled in directions you couldn't understand. Relationships shifted without warning. Opportunities slipped through your hands. Finances felt unstable. Your heart felt tired, even on days you tried to be strong. But hear this with the deepest part of you. None of it was punishment. It was preparation. The pressure you felt was divine construction, not destruction. Heaven has been rebuilding the inner architecture of your life so you can sustain the blessing that's approaching. And the reason everything felt so intense in this recent season is because you were standing at the threshold of personal transformation long before you realized it. God has been aligning you with a breakthrough season that carries more elevation than you've ever touched. And the shift began the moment your spirit survived what should have crushed you. Think of Joseph, beloved soul, sold by his brothers, forgotten in a prison, overlooked by those he helped. Yet every setback was placing him closer to the palace. Genesis 41:14 tells us that Pharaoh sent for Joseph quickly, meaning the shift was sudden, accelerated, impossible to predict. That same sudden acceleration is coming toward you. You've been walking through a wilderness that disguised itself as delay, but heaven calls it training. And now the divine purpose that has followed your life since birth is rising to the surface, ready to unfold without resistance. You may not realize it, but you've already received the first signs. The late night stirring that won't let you sleep. The repeating numbers. The dreams that feel too vivid to ignore. The quiet inner pull telling you something is changing, even when nothing around you seems different yet. These are not coincidences. These are signals. Destiny alignment has already begun, pulling you out of cycles that once kept you stuck. And chosen one, the enemy knew this shift was coming before you did. That's why the attacks increased. That's why you felt waves of loneliness, confusion, or sudden emotional heaviness. Not because you were weak, but because the adversary recognized your elevation before your own eyes could see it. But Isaiah 54:17 stands firm over your life. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Heaven did not just protect you. Heaven promoted you through the very battles meant to drain you. If you've been wondering why certain people fell away, why conversations felt strained, or why you suddenly outgrew the spaces you once tolerated, it's because God has been injecting you with clarity. He's been purifying your circle, removing hidden sabotage, clearing pathways so your breakthrough doesn't get entangled with connections that cannot follow where you're going next. This is why your emotions have felt unpredictable. You're shedding old versions of yourself. You're stepping into a wealth mindset that refuses to shrink. You're stepping into abundance that matches the level of spiritual awakening happening inside you. And even now, as these words touch your spirit, you can feel the truth taking root. Something in you knows you're not returning to old patterns. Something in you knows you've already crossed a line in the spirit. And beloved, while your life shifted, heaven took note of battles fought in silence. Every tear, every prayer, every moment you kept moving even when your strength felt thin. Psalm 56:8 says, God collects your tears. Not one went unnoticed. Not one fell without purpose. You passed the unseen test. You remained faithful when giving up would have been easier. You chose healing over bitterness. You chose growth over comfort. And because you passed, heaven is opening a door that no human hand can close. Listen closely. What's coming is not just blessing. It's restoration multiplied. It is emotional healing so deep it rewrites the memories that once held you back. It is divine purpose so strong it pulls you into a future brighter than anything you lost. It is financial stability that comes from God's provision, not human approval. It is abundance flowing into places that once felt dormant. And chosen one, this is only the beginning of what is unfolding. Chosen one, there is a reason your spirit has felt both the ache of stretching and the pulse of something new rising beneath your ribs. You're standing in the thin place between what was and what is emerging, and heaven has been moving pieces around your life with a precision that only becomes clear in hindsight. You've been sensing a shift because a shift is already happening. You've been feeling an inner trembling because your destiny is awakening from a long sleep. This is not imagination. This is spiritual reality surfacing. For months, maybe years, you have walked through seasons that felt like loss, emptiness, or confusion. Yet in the unseen realm, God was laying the foundation for a breakthrough season that requires a different version of you, a stronger version of you, a purified version of you. And now, chosen one, heaven whispers that you are finally stepping into that version. Not by force, not by striving, but by alignment. The elevation coming toward you is not random. It's been written into your scroll since before your first breath. Psalm 37:23 says, "The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord." And your steps, every high, every low, every detour, have been leading you toward this moment where the old ground beneath you can no longer sustain who you are becoming. That's why you felt frustration with familiar places. That's why your peace left certain environments long before you did. That's why the things that once comforted you started feeling too small. When destiny expands, anything that cannot grow with you becomes uncomfortable. Heaven has been pruning your life gently, separating you from connections that once felt vital but were quietly draining your energy. People who did not recognize your calling were moved aside. Conversations that used to define you now fall flat. Opportunities that looked promising collapsed unexpectedly. This wasn't sabotage. It was protection. God removed access to anything that would have contaminated the blessing He is preparing to release. Because what's coming carries weight. Chosen one. It carries responsibility. It carries legacy. You didn't lose people. You outgrew them. You didn't lose chances. You were redirected. You didn't lose your way. You were guided toward a path with fewer distractions, so heaven could speak clearly. And now that the noise has begun to fade, the voice of God becomes unmistakable. You passed. You endured the season that was designed to break you, and instead you became unbreakable. This is why heaven is preparing to inject your spirit with a surge of strength that feels like courage, with clarity that feels like peace, with purpose that feels like coming home after a long exile. The transformation happening inside you is not subtle, it is seismic. You may not see the fullness yet, but you feel the tremors. Moments of sudden clarity, bursts of intuition, unexpected calm, a quiet knowing that something greater is approaching. And chosen one, that something is not small. It is not partial. It is not temporary. What's approaching is the greatest thing God has ever done in your life. Not because you've earned it, but because you survived long enough to receive it. Your spirit endured storms that would have crushed others. Your heart kept loving in seasons where betrayal tried to harden it. Your faith held on while your circumstances told you to let go. Heaven saw all of it. And now heaven responds. You're entering a phase where doors open without knocking, where resources arrive without striving, where opportunities align without force. This is destiny alignment in its purest form. God is positioning you for abundance, not just materially, but emotionally, spiritually, relationally. The wounds you thought would stay forever are beginning to close. The heaviness that sat on your chest like stone will lift. The silence that felt like abandonment is being replaced by instruction, insight, and divine momentum. And perhaps the most stunning truth, heaven has already begun accelerating what was once delayed. The things you longed for years ago are returning in upgraded form. The prayers you whispered through tears are coming back answered with power. The vision you almost abandoned is being revived with fresh breath. Chosen one, lean in. There is more your spirit must hear. Chosen one, the reason the atmosphere around your life has been shifting so dramatically is because heaven has been clearing space for what is about to settle upon you. Every strange interruption, every unexpected pause, every door that closed when you thought it should open, none of it was random. It was orchestration. It was divine rearrangement. It was the Father lifting you out of the reach of people and environments that could not handle the magnitude of what He is preparing to pour into you. You have to understand this. When God prepares to elevate someone, He does not start with the outside. He starts with the interior landscape of the soul. He separates you from old patterns so He can rewrite your instincts. He lets certain relationships fade so you can reclaim emotional territory you didn't know you had surrendered. He disrupts comfort so you stop settling for survival when you were created for abundance. And although the process felt painful, it was never punishment. It was pruning. It was God breaking off everything that would have become ballast on the wings of your calling. And chosen one, you endured it. You survived the emotional turbulence that would have consumed someone with a weaker foundation. You navigated seasons where clarity was scarce and loneliness whispered lies. You stood upright in moments when the ground beneath you felt fragile. That endurance is the proof that heaven needed to mark you as ready. The spiritual awakening happening inside you is not a gentle nudge. It is a full-scale resurrection of identity. The parts of you that were dimmed by disappointment are coming alive. The vision you thought was lost is resurfacing. The dreams that felt buried are being watered by the hand of the Almighty. This is why you've been sensing deeper things. Your intuition has sharpened. Your discernment has intensified. You've been hearing truth in conversations even when words aren't spoken. You've been feeling shifts in people's intentions before their actions reveal them. This is not paranoia. This is refinement. God has been tuning your spirit like an instrument so you can recognize the resonance of destiny without hesitation. You are being shaped into someone who cannot be deceived, cannot be manipulated, cannot be thrown off course by counterfeits. You're also stepping into a level of abundance that requires inner steadiness. Financial stability is not just a prayer anymore. It is part of your assignment. Heaven is breaking off generational constraints and planting within you a wealth mindset that refuses lack. You are being positioned for opportunities that require both courage and wisdom. And the reason you once feared losing is because you didn't realize you were meant to steward more. But now, chosen one, the fear of scarcity is dissolving. The anxiety around provision is lifting. God is rewiring your beliefs from the inside out, preparing you to carry resources without them carrying you. There is a deeper reason for all of this, and your soul has been feeling it. You are entering a breakthrough season, one that will realign you with your divine purpose. What was delayed is being released. What was restricted is being unlocked. What was hidden is being revealed. You have been walking with a quiet ache, sensing that something sacred was drawing near even if you couldn't articulate it. That ache was heaven expanding your capacity. That longing was God stretching your future into your present. And now the veil is thinning. Even if you don't see the full picture yet, fragments of it have already reached your spirit. Sudden clarity in the middle of ordinary tasks. Peace rising at unexpected moments. Ideas coming to you in waves. A strange strength appearing when you thought you were empty. These are early signs of destiny alignment. This is how heaven announces that you are inches away from stepping into the greatest expression of who you were created to be. But chosen one, the shift is not only external. Heaven has been injecting you with something tonight, something sacred, something potent, something that breaks cycles and rewrites futures. It is the infusion of courage where fear once lived. It is the infusion of wisdom where confusion tried to grow roots. It is the infusion of emotional healing where old wounds tried to dictate your worth. And as this infusion continues, you will feel lighter, clearer, steadier within yourself. The old heaviness cannot stay where God is pouring new strength. You are approaching a threshold you cannot cross casually. Your spirit knows this. That's why you've been feeling the quiet pressure to prepare. That's why certain habits suddenly feel out of place. That's why you've been sensing a call to rise higher, even if you didn't know how. Heaven is pulling you into alignment so that when the door opens, and it will open, you will walk through it without hesitation, without apology, without shrinking. Chosen one, this is your turning point, though not the final one. There is more unfolding. There is more your spirit needs to receive before the next revelation can descend. Chosen one, there is something heaven has been trying to show you for a long time, and only now is your spirit finally quiet enough, healed enough, awakened enough to receive it. You have walked through seasons where everything felt stripped away, where the familiar collapsed, where the ground that once felt stable shifted beneath your feet without warning. But what felt like collapse was actually clearing. What felt like loss was divine excavation. God was removing the weight of old cycles so that the next layer of your destiny could rise without obstruction. And now, something extraordinary is happening within you. You are beginning to sense the nearness of purpose, the way the skin senses the change in weather before a storm arrives. You've been feeling it in the subtle tremors in your chest, in the sudden clarity that descends without announcement, in the strange mix of anticipation and calm that rests on your spirit without explanation. These are not passing emotions. They are signals. They are the whispers of a destiny that has been waiting for you to grow into it. What you don't realize yet is that heaven has been accelerating your inner transformation at a pace you have not been consciously aware of. Every moment you chose faith over fear, every night you pushed through heaviness, every time you refused to let bitterness harden you, heaven recorded it. And those moments began stacking, layer upon layer, building spiritual weight inside you. You grew stronger without seeing the growth. You grew wiser without celebrating the wisdom. You grew deeper without realizing the depth. But God saw it. Heaven documented it. And now you are stepping into the rewards of a season you didn't even know you passed. This is why, chosen one, your discernment is sharper than ever before. You can feel truth now before you analyze it. You sense danger before it forms. You recognize counterfeit energy within seconds, where before it took months or years. This is part of the spiritual awakening heaven has been preparing you for. This is what happens when someone survives tests designed not to evaluate them, but to strengthen their spirit until it becomes unshakable. You are never being tested to prove your worth. You are being refined to discover your strength. And there is another truth rising in this moment. You have entered a phase where the things that used to drain you will no longer have access to your energy. The emotional weights that once kept you tethered to old versions of yourself are falling away layer by layer. People who cannot honor your light will feel distance they cannot cross. Situations that once triggered anxiety will lose their power. Patterns that followed you for years will begin to dissolve. This is emotional healing at the deepest level, the kind heaven orchestrates when a chosen one crosses into a breakthrough season. You are not the same person you were even a few months ago. Something in you has matured. Something in you has awakened. Something in you has risen to a level that cannot be reversed. That heaviness you carried for so long is lifting not because circumstances changed, but because you changed. What once overwhelmed you will now feel small in your hands. What once confused you will now feel transparent. What once wounded you will now lose its ability to touch you. This is destiny alignment shaping itself inside you. God is preparing to position you in spaces you prayed for, waited for, cried for, and sometimes doubted would ever come. But the reason those spaces are finally opening is because your character, your strength, your identity, your awareness, they have all been stretched into alignment with the weight of the blessing. And chosen one, heaven is not just aligning you internally. The external shift is coming next. You'll begin to notice opportunities arriving with perfect timing, doors opening in ways that feel almost unreal, connections appearing that carry divine assignment, not empty promises. You'll find yourself speaking with authority you didn't realize you possessed. You'll find clarity where confusion used to dwell. You'll find boldness filling the places where fear used to whisper. This is abundance taking form in your life. Not just financial abundance, although that is coming. Not just emotional abundance, though it is already beginning. This is the abundance of purpose, clarity, direction, and divine strategy. You are stepping into a season where what once felt blocked will begin to flow. Where what once felt delayed will become accelerated. Where what once felt hidden will be revealed in perfect light. And beloved soul, the reason heaven is preparing you so intensely is because something immense is approaching you. Something heaven has been protecting, molding, and guarding for years. The greatest thing God will ever do in your life is not far from you. It is nearer than breath. It is already unfolding in the unseen. Chosen one, Heaven has been circling your life with a level of intention you have not fully recognized. You've been feeling the tremble of it, the quiet pull of it, the subtle rearrangement of your days, but the full magnitude of what is approaching has not yet dawned on you. Something vast, something holy, something orchestrated with divine precision is drawing closer with every breath you take. And even if your mind cannot grasp it, your spirit already knows. That's why you've been feeling that strange mix of pressure and anticipation. That's why you felt moments where the air around you seemed heavier, as if the atmosphere itself was shifting. It was. Heaven has been preparing to release a blessing that carries weight, and blessings with weight require reinforced foundations. God has been rebuilding your inner world so you can sustain what is coming without collapsing under the magnitude of it. You've been sensing this through the sudden changes in your emotional rhythm. One moment, you feel calm like a still river. The next, you feel something rising like a tide. That's not instability. That's spiritual expansion. That's the stretching that happens when a new capacity is forming inside you. Lately, you've found yourself noticing things you once overlooked. Conversations reveal layers you didn't catch before. People's intentions feel clearer, even when they try to hide them. Your spirit picks up on shifts before your mind processes them. This is heaven sharpening your discernment, because discernment is the shield of those who are being elevated. God does not place a chosen one in a higher realm without first equipping them to see through illusions that once deceived them. And chosen one, the illusions around you have been dissolving. False peace that once lulled you has been replaced with truthful calm. Connections built on convenience have crumbled. Environments that once felt familiar now feel foreign. That is because your inner frequency has risen. You no longer match the places that kept you small, and when you don't match a space anymore, God begins removing you from it. Sometimes gently, sometimes abruptly, but always purposefully. The pressure you felt wasn't punishment. It was elevation pressing against the shell of the old you. What used to satisfy now feels empty because your spirit is outgrowing its previous identity. You've been asking, why do I feel different? Why do I feel distant from what once mattered? Why do I feel like something is ending? Chosen one, it's because something is ending. The version of you that struggled to believe, that hesitated to trust God fully, that questioned their worth, heaven is retiring that version. You are being ushered into a higher dimension of purpose where confidence flows naturally and clarity follows you like a shadow. And in this transformation, God has been injecting you with strength disguised as endurance, with wisdom disguised as quiet reflection, with courage disguised as restlessness. Even the nights you lay awake, unable to sleep, weren't random. Those were visitations. Those were moments when heaven was downloading understanding. Your conscious mind wasn't ready to interpret yet. You weren't overthinking. You were awakening. Listen closely, beloved soul. You're not moving toward your purpose. You are moving into it. Destiny alignment is already happening around you. The shifts began before you noticed them. People were repositioned. Patterns were disrupted. Cycles broke. Internal rooms in your heart were swept clean to make space for new assignments, new blessings, new love, new horizons. God does not pour new oil into old wineskins. That's why so much had to fall away. And the acceleration, it's already visible if you look closely. Things are happening faster. Resolutions that once took months appear in days. Signs show up repeatedly. Pieces come together without effort. Your spirit responds to truth instantly. These are markers of a chosen one whose timeline is being redeemed. Years that were swallowed by delay are being returned suddenly. Time that was lost is being restored with interest. This is more than restoration. This is multiplication. This is what happens when a soul passes the tests meant to refine them. Heaven is not giving you back what you lost. Heaven is giving you what was always yours, but withheld until you were ready to carry it without breaking. And chosen one, you are ready now. The greatest move of God in your life is no longer approaching, it's beginning. It is unfolding like dawn, slow enough that you're not overwhelmed, fast enough that you can feel the horizon brightening. The atmosphere around your life is thick with promise, and your spirit is beginning to recognize the pulse of destiny beating from the future into your present. This is why your intuition has been louder. This is why your dreams feel prophetic. This is why you sense movement even when everything looks still. You're on the edge of something immense, and heaven is still preparing you for the next revelation. Chosen one, there is a reason your spirit has been vibrating with a quiet urgency. A reason you've felt a pull you couldn't name. A reason the ordinary has begun to feel too small for you. Heaven has been drawing you into a higher dimension of awareness, peeling back layers you once thought were permanent, awakening parts of you that were dormant for years. You're not simply growing, you're shedding. You're not simply changing, you are ascending. And this ascent has not been gentle. It has carried the weight of old memories rising to the surface. Emotions demanding to be released, truths you once avoided confronting you with clarity. But chosen one, this is the sign that the spiritual surgery heaven has been performing in secret is nearing completion. You've been feeling old wounds surface, not to torment you, but to empty you. God is not allowing you to carry into your breakthrough season what was only meant to shape you in the wilderness. Every tear that resurfaced was a release. Every moment of heaviness was a clearing. Every wave of emotion was a purge. You were never losing control. You were being refined. You were being rewired for the blessing that is approaching with force. And now, chosen one, look deeper. Your inner landscape is shifting in ways you can feel, but may not yet fully articulate. The places in your heart, once ruled by fear, are being taken over by courage. The corners of your mind that once echoed with doubt are softening under divine reassurance. The emotions that once spiraled into confusion are becoming steady, grounded, anchored. This is emotional healing, weaving itself through every chamber of your being. You are becoming someone who can carry abundance without feeling unworthy, someone who can walk in divine purpose without shrinking, someone who can steward financial stability without fear of losing it. Heaven is building a foundation inside you that won't crack under pressure, won't crumble under blessing, won't collapse under opportunity. The blessing coming toward you has weight, and heaven refuses to let it crush you. That is why your spirit has been stretched to capacity. You are being expanded. Chosen one, the isolation you felt recently was not abandonment. It was God quarantining your spirit so He could heal what community couldn't touch, so He could speak what noise would have drowned out, so He could rebuild what people mishandled. You weren't alone. You were in the workshop of heaven, and what emerges from that workshop never resembles what entered. This is also why certain people suddenly felt distant, why conversations faded, why your circle tightened naturally without arguments or explanations. God has been filtering the energy around you. Elevation demands protection. Purpose demands purity. Breakthrough demands boundaries, and heaven will not allow access to those who cannot honor the next dimension of your life. You're not becoming cold, you're becoming guarded. You're not becoming detached, you're becoming selective. Destiny has no space for those who drain you. And now, chosen one, something even deeper is unfolding. Your relationship with time is shifting. You're starting to feel like things are speeding up, like change is happening in rapid bursts. This is not your imagination. This is divine acceleration. What used to take months will take days. What used to require force will require faith. What used to exhaust you will now energize you. You are stepping into a realm where ease replaces struggle, and clarity replaces confusion. Your spirit has been sensing this acceleration. That's why you've been feeling the need to prepare, even if you didn't know why. That's why your intuition has been nudging you to let go of things you once tolerated. That's why your inner voice has been telling you, get ready, something is coming. And chosen one, something is coming, something so vast, so specific, so divinely tailored to the architecture of your calling that when it arrives, your spirit will recognize it instantly. Even heaven has been repositioning angels on your behalf. Doors are being moved, timelines are being rewritten, delays are being overturned. The gates that once resisted you are losing their grip. And through all of this, God has been injecting you with a type of strength you've never carried, a type of clarity you've never walked in, a type of elevation that breaks generational ceilings. You feel it rising even now, like a flame at the center of your being, steady, unshakable, alive. Chosen one, the greatest revelation of this season is not even the blessing itself. It is the realization of who you've become, and heaven is still not finished unveiling what is ahead. Chosen one, what you are stepping into now is not merely a new season. It is a divine unveiling, a lifting of spiritual veils that once kept you from seeing the full truth of who you are, what you carry, and how fiercely heaven has been guarding your path. This unveiling is why your spirit has felt stretched, why emotions have surfaced out of nowhere, why old memories rose like echoes, why your heart seemed to ask questions your mind couldn't form. You've been awakening layer by layer, and heaven has been guiding the process like a surgeon guiding a steady hand. You're beginning to see yourself the way God has always seen you, not fragile, not forgotten, not behind, but chosen, equipped, refined, anointed. Every storm you survived was a marking. Every delay you endured was preparation. Every moment you kept going when everything in you wanted to collapse was heaven gathering evidence to release what is coming next. You were never fighting alone. Angels have been stationed around your journey, redirecting danger, blocking curses, shielding your purpose from sabotage. And now, as these protections tighten, the shift inside you becomes impossible to ignore. You are noticing a change in how you interpret life. Where you once reacted with fear, now you pause with clarity. Where confusion once overwhelmed you, peace rises like a quiet tide. Where insecurity once whispered lies, authority answers firmly. These internal changes are not accidents. They are signals that your destiny alignment is reaching its activation point. You have stepped into a maturity heaven has been waiting for. This is why you've noticed your desires changing. Old ambitions no longer impress you. Shallow connections no longer entertain you. Temporary comforts no longer soothe you. Your soul is done with substitutes. It is craving what God has written for you, your true assignment, your true calling, your true elevation. And chosen one, the elevation approaching you is not a gentle incline. It is a spiritual ascent that will lift you rapidly, almost abruptly, into a new realm of purpose. This is why the season behind you felt so intense. Heaven was compressing time, preparing you in months for what usually takes years. You were being matured at an accelerated pace so you could steward what's coming with wisdom instead of fear. But there's something deeper heaven needs you to understand. Your old identity cannot walk through the door God is about to open. The version of you shaped by heartbreak cannot lead where you're going. The version of you shaped by scarcity cannot carry financial stability. The version of you shaped by silence cannot speak with authority. So heaven has been dissolving these old layers, even when it felt uncomfortable. This is why you've been sensing distance from familiar circles. You're no longer resonating with people who choose stagnation. You're no longer attracted to chaos. You're no longer entertaining conversations that drain your spirit. You've been outgrowing people without conflict, without explanation, without bitterness, because your spirit is evolving faster than your environment. Chosen one, this is the sign of an anointing expanding. When God enlarges your territory, He first reduces your access, not to punish you, but to protect what He's growing in you. You cannot carry spiritual elevation while surrounded by voices that feed doubt. You cannot walk into abundance while entertaining mindsets rooted in lack. You cannot rise into divine purpose while clinging to what God is removing. This inner separation is not loneliness, it is consecration. Heaven has been setting you apart, pulling you away from noise so you can hear instruction clearly. And instruction is coming, direction is coming, clarity is coming. You will know the next steps without guessing. You will recognize the right people without hesitation. You will walk with confidence you once had to borrow. And even now, heaven continues to inject your spirit with divine strength. Every breath you take is carrying more resilience. Every sunrise is pouring more wisdom into your heart. Every quiet moment is reshaping your identity. You're not being restored to who you used to be. You're becoming someone entirely new. Chosen one, you're being prepared for a revelation that will shift the trajectory of your entire life. Chosen one, there is a deeper reason why your spirit has been stirring with that quiet insistence, that sense that something immense is moving toward you even when everything around you looks still. What you're feeling is the vibration of a divine intersection, a moment in time where heaven and your destiny meet in a way that cannot be undone. And your soul, more sensitive than your senses, has detected it before your eyes ever could. Lately, your inner world has felt like shifting ground. One moment you feel anchored, the next you feel like something inside you is rearranging itself without your permission. But this rearranging is not chaos. It is calibration. It is God aligning your desires, your instincts, your thoughts, your emotions with the path He ordained for you before you were ever born. Destiny alignment does not happen quietly. It happens with spiritual friction, and that friction is the proof that heaven is adjusting your trajectory. You've noticed it, haven't you? Things that once calmed you now feel hollow. People who once had access to you now feel distant, not because of conflict, but because your spirit no longer resonates with their frequency. Internal urges to upgrade your life have been whispering to you. Clean that space, let go of that pattern, redefine that boundary, step away from that atmosphere. This is not a random self-improvement phase. This is the Holy Spirit preparing your environment for where you're going, not where you've been. And chosen one, something extraordinary is happening beneath those changes. A new authority is rising within you. You've begun noticing that your voice carries more weight, your intuition cuts through illusions faster, your thoughts align with clarity instead of confusion. Even the way you pray has shifted, from pleading to declaring, from hoping to knowing. That is the mark of a chosen one who has passed spiritual tests that heaven never intended you to label as suffering. They were refining fires, burning away the residue of old identities. Your emotional healing is not a concept, it's happening in real time. You are letting go of the fear of being misunderstood because you now understand yourself at a depth you once avoided. You are releasing the fear of abandonment because you've learned that God never abandoned you. Not once. You are letting go of scarcity because abundance is becoming the natural language of your spirit. Your reactions are softer, your vision is sharper, your heart is steadier. Something in you has stabilized, and that stability is a sign that your inner foundation is ready for elevation. And elevation is closer than you think. Heaven has been orchestrating connections you haven't met yet, opportunities you haven't seen yet, pathways you haven't walked yet. You're being moved, not by force, but by divine guidance, into a realm where your gifts will finally meet their purpose. Doors that were shut are weakening. Barriers that blocked you are thinning. Cycles that held you are breaking at the root. This is why your atmosphere feels different. Not heavier, holier. Something sacred is approaching. When God is about to release a blessing that carries generational weight, one that rewrites lineage, restores dignity, awakens purpose, your spirit begins to anticipate it before your life reflects it. That anticipation is the spiritual equivalent of dawn light before the sun breaks the horizon. Chosen one, your dawn has begun. But what heaven is preparing you for goes beyond personal blessing. It touches the core of why you were placed on this earth. You are being positioned for a responsibility that stretches deeper than your comfort zone. Something that will require courage but reward you with purpose. Something that will pull out of you strength you didn't realize was buried within. You're being shaped for influence. You're becoming someone whose presence shifts atmospheres, whose words break chains, whose decisions echo through future generations. This is why you could not stay small, why the old version of you could not survive this transition. Heaven is not molding you for mediocrity. Heaven is molding you for impact. And beloved soul, even now, the spiritual realm is rearranging itself around your name. Angels are preparing assignments. Paths are being cleared. Delay is being overturned. What once resisted you is losing power. What once confused you is becoming transparent. What once discouraged you is losing its influence. Your steps are being guided into something vast, sacred, and world-shifting. Chosen one, you can feel it even if you don't yet have words for it. There is a pull in your spirit that refuses to quiet down, a holy tension that keeps rising inside you like a tide that will not retreat. This is not anxiety. This is not overthinking. This is the sound of your destiny knocking from the inside. Heaven is awakening something ancient in you, something placed within your spirit long before you took your first breath. And now that it is stirring, nothing in your life will stay the same. You've begun to notice how your old habits no longer fit you. The thoughts that once held you hostage no longer grip you the same way. The insecurities that whispered in the back of your mind are losing their voice. Even the fears that once paralyzed you now feel weaker, smaller, almost foreign. This is because your identity is shifting. Your spirit is outgrowing what your mind has not yet caught up to. You are becoming someone who can no longer settle for crumbs when heaven has prepared our table. And chosen one, you have felt this in the way your heart has been craving something deeper, something real, something purposeful. Life around you may look unchanged, but your inner world is evolving rapidly. You're seeing through facades. You're sensing hidden motives. You're recognizing when people speak from truth and when they speak from their wounds. This heightened awareness is not coincidence. It is spiritual sight. God is sharpening your perception so you don't miss what He is about to place in your hands. But with every awakening comes a shedding, and you have been shedding more than you realize. You have been releasing old versions of yourself, old expectations, old dreams that were too small for your calling. You've been releasing guilt that was never yours to carry. You've been releasing shame that never belonged to your name. You've been releasing roles you thought you had to play to be loved, accepted, or understood. Heaven has been cleansing your identity of every lie that tried to shape you. Because the truth, chosen one, is this: the next dimension of your assignment requires the purest version of yourself. Not the masked version, not the watered-down version, not the version shaped by trauma, the version shaped by truth, the one heaven always saw, the one destiny has been waiting for, and that version is emerging now. This is why relationships have shifted. The people who once walked with you cannot walk with you into this next realm if they cannot respect the weight you carry. God is not removing people to hurt you, but to protect the calling they were never meant to influence. You are being pulled away from environments where your purpose was misunderstood or minimized. You are being moved out of circles that were too small to contain your growth. You are being released from invisible agreements that kept you in cycles of emotional limitation. And now, you are stepping into emotional healing that touches the bones of your being. Healing that rewrites inner narratives. Healing that restores stolen confidence. Healing that silences the voices of failure. Healing that reminds you that you are created with intention, not accident. You are being rebuilt from the inside out so that when the blessing arrives, and it will arrive, you will have the stability to carry it. Chosen one, this rebuilding is why your capacity has been stretching. You've been feeling surges of energy, followed by moments of stillness. You've been experiencing waves of motivation, followed by unexpected quiet. This rhythm is not inconsistency, it is recalibration. You're being prepared to hold more purpose, more abundance, more influence, more revelation, and abundance is closer than you think. Financial stability is not just a hope for you, it is an assignment. God is shifting your mindset around resources. You're being prepared to handle wealth with wisdom, not fear. You're being equipped to break cycles of lack that ran through your lineage. You are becoming someone who will steward resources for impact, not survival. This is why God has been challenging your beliefs about worthiness, about possibility, about capacity. You are being transformed into someone who expects goodness, not barely enough. Someone who moves with confidence, not hesitancy. Someone who sees opportunity where others see obstacles. This is a wealth mindset birthed not from greed, but from divine purpose. And chosen one, something else is happening. Heaven is positioning you for visibility, not for fame, but for impact. Not for applause, but for assignment. You are being called into spaces where your voice will matter, where your presence will shift atmospheres, where your wisdom will unlock breakthrough for others. You will no longer hide, you will no longer dim, you will no longer shrink to make others comfortable. Your rise is ordained, and heaven is still unfolding more. Chosen one, there is a truth forming in the spiritual realm so powerful, so life-altering, that your soul has been trembling beneath the surface without knowing why. You've been feeling it in the quiet moments when your chest tightens for no logical reason. You've felt it when your thoughts suddenly become still, when the world around you dims for a second, as if something unseen is drawing near. That sensation is not anxiety. It is not uncertainty. It is the weight of destiny approaching you with the footsteps of heaven. You are at the threshold of a divine intersection, a place in your journey where old timelines collapse and new pathways open simultaneously. Heaven has been bending the arc of your life into alignment with something immense, something that has been waiting in the wings of your story, something that could not arrive until you were spiritually prepared to hold it. And now, chosen one, you are finally ready. Heaven has declared your readiness long before your mind believed it. This is why you've been feeling spiritually stretched. Not broken, stretched. The kind of stretching that happens when the soul is expanding to fit a bigger calling, a deeper purpose, a larger capacity. You've noticed it in the way your emotions rise and settle like waves that no longer frighten you. You've noticed it in the way old triggers have less power, old insecurities feel quieter, old fears feel distant. This is spiritual growth. This is emotional healing embedding itself into the roots of your being. God has been peeling away layers that were never part of your true identity in the first place. Layers formed from years of survival. Layers shaped by others' expectations. Layers created by wounds that were never your fault. These layers are falling away because the next expression of your purpose needs the unfiltered you, the version of you heaven crafted with intention, not the one shaped by pain. And beloved soul, this shedding has caused certain shifts around you that felt confusing at first. People who once felt close now feel distant. Situations that once felt comforting now feel restrictive. Familiar routines feel suffocating. Goals you once pursued now feel too small. This is not loss. This is misalignment being corrected. God is removing the weights that could have slowed you in the next dimension of your calling. You have outgrown environments that were built for a version of you that no longer exists. And because heaven sees the future version you are rising into, God is pushing you toward expansion. He is pushing you out of comfort zones you didn't realize had become prisons. He is pushing you into unfamiliar spaces where your gifts can breathe, where your purpose can unfold, where your spirit can stretch without breaking. That pressure you feel, it is God refusing to let you stay where your soul would shrink. Chosen one, this is why your intuition has been louder. You're no longer guessing, you're knowing. You can sense when someone's energy shifts. You recognize dishonesty even when it's coated in charm. You feel spiritual truth before words are spoken. This is discernment awakened. This is your divine purpose, sharpening your senses, preparing you to navigate blessings that require wisdom, not naivety. And the blessings coming are not lightweight. They carry consequence, they carry legacy, they carry responsibility. Heaven is preparing you for abundance in every dimension. Abundance of resources, abundance of opportunity, abundance of clarity, abundance of influence. This is why God has been strengthening your emotional resilience, stabilizing your internal world, anchoring your soul. A blessing can elevate you or crush you depending on the strength of your foundation. Heaven is making sure you are unshakable. Financial stability is not only coming, it is being birthed inside your mindset right now. You are learning to see money without fear. You are learning to plan with wisdom instead of panic. You are learning to receive provision without guilt. This is a wealth mindset placed into you by God, not by greed, because you are meant to steward resources for impact, not for ego. And chosen one, something even more profound is unfolding. Heaven is positioning you for connections that will accelerate your destiny. People who carry clarity, people who speak truth, people who honor your anointing, people who see your purpose without envy. These connections will step into your life in ways that feel orchestrated, not coincidental, because they are. The shift you are feeling is heaven making room for divine partnerships. You are moving toward a future that looks nothing like your past, and nothing in your past can prevent what's on the way. Chosen one, the spiritual realm is still in motion. There is more heaven wants to reveal. Chosen one, you have been walking through days that feel strangely weighted, as if the air around you is thicker, charged, alive with something you can't yet name. This is not heaviness. This is holiness. It is the unmistakable sign that heaven is drawing closer, that the veil between what you know and what you're becoming is thinning. You're not imagining this shift. You're not exaggerating what you feel. Something sacred is restructuring your entire inner world, and your spirit is responding before your understanding catches up. There have been moments recently where time itself felt different. Moments where your thoughts slowed down, where your heart felt unusually still, where your breath seemed to settle deeper than before. In those moments, chosen one, heaven was brushing against your spirit. God has been whispering in frequencies your mind doesn't yet have language for. And because your heart has become more receptive, more open, more awakened, you are sensing these spiritual currents with increasing clarity. This is why your old emotional cycles have been breaking. What once spiraled you into fear now dissolves into calm. What once caused confusion now results in clarity. What once triggered insecurity now awakens conviction. You are no longer who you were. The spiritual battles you endured have given birth to a version of you with sharper discernment, with deeper insight, with stronger spiritual muscle. Even your silence carries more weight now. Even your presence shifts atmosphere now. This is the evidence of transformation. But there is something even more profound happening. God has been reconstructing your inner map. You are no longer driven by wounds. You are no longer guided by fear. You are no longer controlled by the echoes of your past. Your decisions are beginning to rise from a place of wholeness, not survival. From identity, not insecurity. From clarity, not confusion. This is emotional healing, restructuring your decision-making from the inside out. And chosen one, heaven needed you to reach this level of healing before releasing what is coming. The blessing heaven is preparing for your life carries responsibility. It carries visibility. It carries influence. God cannot elevate a spirit that still bleeds at the touch of old wounds. So He has stitched those wounds shut. He has sealed them with wisdom. He has reinforced them with identity. This is why certain memories no longer sting. This is why certain words no longer penetrate. This is why certain people no longer have emotional access to you. Your heart has been fortified. Your mind has been renewed. Your spirit has been strengthened. And now, something deeper is shifting. Heaven is preparing to transfer you into a new dimension of purpose. This transfer is not subtle. It is not symbolic. It is not metaphorical. When heaven performs a destiny transfer, everything around you begins to rearrange. Connections shift, patterns break, desires evolve, opportunities move toward you without explanation. You've been feeling this magnetic pull, like life is guiding you somewhere unfamiliar but necessary. That sensation is not wrong. You are being guided. You are being pulled. You are being prepared. This is destiny alignment taking shape in real time. Look at your recent days carefully. Notice how often you've been drawn to new ideas, new disciplines, new routines, new dreams. Notice how your inner world reacts when something is not aligned. Notice how peace rises when something is right for you, even if you don't fully understand it yet. Your spirit is learning to lead, and heaven is training you to trust that leading. This is why God has also been shifting your relationship with time. Delays no longer defeat you the way they once did. Waiting no longer feels like punishment. You're beginning to recognize that divine timing is not slow, it is strategic. Every moment you thought was wasted has been sown. Every prayer you thought was ignored was collected. Every tear you thought was unseen watered the soil you're about to harvest from. Chosen one, the harvest is nearer than you think, and the closer it gets, the more heaven tightens your focus. Distractions have been falling away effortlessly. People who once had your attention no longer hold it. Desires that once controlled you feel irrelevant. This is spiritual alignment, narrowing your path so you do not miss the door that is opening for you. And beloved soul, that door is enormous. It leads to elevation you have only glimpsed in dreams. It leads to opportunities that will redefine your direction. It leads to abundance that heals generational limitations. It leads to clarity that silences every lie you once believed about yourself. But the greatest shift is not the external door. It is the internal awakening. God has been injecting your spirit with courage so you walk boldly. He has been injecting your mind with wisdom so you decide clearly. He has been injecting your heart with healing so you love freely. He has been injecting your future with abundance so you rise fully. Chosen one, the transformation is still ongoing. Heaven is still delivering revelation, and what comes next will take you even deeper. Chosen one, as you move through this sacred transition, there is something heaven has been holding back until the final stretch of this awakening. A truth so immense, so intricately woven into the fabric of your calling, that it could only be revealed after your spirit had been strengthened, refined, and elevated to withstand its weight. And now, in this holy hour of alignment, heaven begins to release it into your understanding. You have not simply been surviving seasons, you have been gathering spiritual authority. Every hardship was the training ground for a mantle you did not know you were being prepared to carry. Every disappointment carved out deeper discernment. Every delay expanded your spiritual capacity. Every betrayal sharpened your intuition. You thought you were losing ground, but heaven was embedding strength where weakness used to live. Something in you has been shifting quietly, but undeniably. You've been feeling a new resonance in your spirit, an inner assurance, a calm boldness, a clarity that rises without you forcing it. This is not coincidence. This is identity crystallizing. This is destiny settling into your bones. This is the spiritual weight of who you truly are finally becoming impossible to ignore. You've begun to sense that you no longer walk alone, even in silence, even in rooms where no one understands you, even in moments where your path feels unclear. You've felt presence, guidance, direction. Heaven has been drawing closer, not to comfort you, but to lead you. God has been whispering instructions into your soul, shaping you into a vessel capable of carrying revelation, influence, purpose, and abundance without losing yourself. And chosen one, the more heaven reveals, the more you will understand why your past was necessary. Your tears were not wasted. They softened the ground of your heart. Your heartbreak was not punishment. It freed you from false attachments. Your waiting was not denial. It protected you from premature assignment. Everything has been converging toward a divine moment where your spirit would be aligned enough to hold what God is about to release. You're standing in that moment now. This is why your vision has been shifting. You're starting to see beyond the surface. You're noticing signs, patterns, symbols, confirmations. Walk through your recent days in your mind. The unexpected encouragement, the repeated numbers, the sudden insight, the calm that settled over you without explanation. These are not random. These are signals that your spirit is unlocking higher revelation. Spiritual sensitivity is increasing within you. Your heart is opening wider. Your mind is becoming sharper. Your purpose is becoming louder. These internal changes are the prelude to external transformation. When heaven shifts a chosen one's inner world, the outer world eventually follows. And yours is already beginning to move. Quietly, subtly, intentionally. A divine rearrangement is underway. You can sense it in your emotions. You can feel it in your dreams. You can recognize it in your desires. The things that once satisfied you no longer hold power, because heaven is preparing you for something far more expansive. And chosen one, this expansion is not symbolic. It is literal. Heaven is enlarging your territory. Spiritually, emotionally, financially, strategically, you are being prepared to influence spaces you once felt unqualified to enter. You are being positioned for opportunities that seemed unreachable in previous seasons. You are being called into alignment with connections that will shape the future God has prepared for you. Even now, angels are adjusting the pathways ahead of you so that nothing, no delay, no sabotage, no spiritual resistance can intercept what has been ordained. The flow of your life is shifting. The cadence of your days is changing. Your steps are being pulled towards something greater with a force that feels both gentle and undeniable. And still, there is more heaven wants to place into your spirit. Chosen one, pause and feel this truth settle. You are not rising by coincidence. You are rising by design. And before we journey further, beloved soul, if this message has been awakening something deep within you, take a moment, subscribe, like, and share. Not out of routine, but because every act of alignment sends this word to another chosen one who is standing on the edge of their own awakening, waiting for the confirmation you just received. Chosen one, before you step further into what heaven is unfolding, you must understand something essential. Revelation without application cannot transform your life. What God has been awakening in your spirit must now translate into movement, into rhythm, into daily alignment that turns spiritual truth into lived reality. This next stretch of your journey is not about waiting for breakthrough. It is about embodying it. It is about taking your place in the story heaven has already begun writing through you. There is a sacred responsibility that comes with elevation. When God pours new strength into you, He also calls you to walk differently. When He injects your spirit with clarity, He expects your steps to follow that clarity. When He gives you discernment sharp enough to cut through deception, He empowers you to choose environments that honor your growth. In Chosen One, this is where the practical path begins, where your inner transformation becomes an outer shift so that nothing in your life contradicts the direction heaven is taking you. You are being called into a new daily posture, a posture of spiritual intentionality, a posture that welcomes abundance instead of resisting it, a posture that honors the emotional healing you have fought so hard to receive. And this posture begins the moment you open your eyes each morning. Heaven is urging you to start your days no longer as someone trying to survive, but as someone stepping into a divine assignment. As soon as you awaken, let your first breath become an activation. Lord, align my steps with what you have already released. This single confession will change your atmosphere before your feet even touch the floor. From there, chosen one, cleanse your inner environment. God has removed external distractions, but the residue of old thoughts sometimes lingers longer than the people who caused them. So when doubt tries to rise, meet it with truth. When fear attempts to whisper, silence it with certainty. When old insecurities stir, remind yourself, my destiny is greater than my history. You must become the guardian of your inner world, choosing thoughts that match the future God is leading you into instead of the past you've already outgrown. There is also a call for physical and emotional decluttering. Heaven is urging you to clear the spaces where stagnation hides. That drawer you've avoided, that corner that feels heavy, that object tied to an old season you no longer belong to. When you release what carries yesterday's energy, you make room for what carries tomorrow's blessing. Every small act of clearing, every bag set aside, every unused item removed, becomes a prophetic gesture. You are telling heaven, I'm ready for what's next. And chosen one, boundaries are not optional in this next dimension. They are sacred armor. Your spirit is now far too sensitive, too awakened, too attuned to be entangled with voices that drain you or patterns that distract you. Begin choosing conversations that feed your clarity. Begin limiting access to those who cannot honor your calling. Begin protecting the spaces where your heart rests. You do not need to announce this shift. You simply need to live it. Heaven will handle the rest. Then comes movement. Destiny requires motion, even when the path isn't fully revealed. If God is pulling you toward healing, begin with one honest moment a day. If God is drawing you toward financial stability, make one wise decision at a time. If God is calling you into new purpose, take one small, obedient step. Heaven multiplies the smallest acts of alignment. A chosen one does not wait for perfect conditions. A chosen one creates momentum through obedience. And beloved soul, document what is shifting. Write the signs you've received. Write the truths God has whispered. Write the changes you feel in your spirit. These notes will become anchors in moments of doubt and markers of how far heaven has carried you. There is more to walk into, more that heaven wants to place into your hands. More guidance unfolding in layers. Chosen one, now that heaven has awakened your spirit and begun to shape your daily rhythm, there is a deeper layer of alignment God is calling you into. This is the part where your life becomes intentional, where your choices carry spiritual weight, where your decisions echo in the unseen. You are no longer simply surviving what happens to you. You are now participating in what heaven is building through you. And for this next dimension, there are practices, sacred disciplines, that will anchor you, shield you, and position you to walk in the blessings already unfolding. Begin with silence, just a few minutes each day where you let your spirit settle and allow your thoughts to unclench. In that silence, heaven speaks. In that silence, clarity rises. In that silence, you reconnect with the blueprint God has written inside you. This quiet space is not empty. It is where instructions descend. Then, carve out moments to speak life over yourself. Not as empty affirmation, but as spiritual activation. You must train your tongue to match the direction God is leading you. Speak words that align with abundance, not lack. Declare identity, not insecurity. Release statements like seeds. I rise into what heaven prepared. My spirit moves in clarity. What belongs to me arrives on time. These words rewire your atmosphere and strengthen your posture. Chosen one, your environment must reflect the new season you're stepping into. Pay attention to what disturbs your peace. Pay attention to what drains your spirit. Pay attention to what elevates your faith. These signs are heaven's compass. If something pulls you away from purpose, it cannot follow you forward. You are not abandoning anyone. You are honoring what God is unfolding. And now, one of the most powerful forms of alignment: action without hesitation. When the Spirit nudges you to move, even if you don't understand the full picture, respond. The greatest breakthroughs often unfold from tiny yeses. If God tells you to call someone, do it. If He urges you to release something, release it. If He pushes you to prepare for something that hasn't manifested yet, prepare anyway. Heaven rewards movement that flows from trust. There is also the sacred act of protecting your mind. Your thoughts shape your spiritual posture. Guard what you absorb. Guard what you meditate on. Be selective with what enters your spirit through your eyes and ears. Darkness enters subtly. Fear through a sentence. Confusion through a voice. Doubt through a careless comment. You must discern what strengthens you and what weakens you. This is part of spiritual maturity. And chosen one, be open to the unexpected. Heaven does not always reveal blessings in familiar packaging. Opportunities may appear as inconveniences. Breakthroughs may arrive disguised as small steps. Divine appointments may look like interruptions. Spiritual alignment teaches you to see with heavenly eyes, not earthly ones. Finally, expect shifts. Expect movement. Expect change. You are no longer living in a stagnant cycle. You are in a breakthrough season, and breakthrough disrupts comfort. It lifts, it stretches, it redirects. And the more you embrace this divine momentum, the faster heaven multiplies your obedience. Chosen one, every instruction you apply becomes spiritual agreement. Every step you take becomes an invitation for heaven to move. And every act of alignment becomes evidence that you are ready for the fullness of what God has prepared. Now, beloved soul, before we move deeper into the revelation and prayer that will seal this word over your life, take a moment, subscribe, like, and share. Not as routine, but as a declaration that you are part of a spiritual community rising together, growing together, aligning together under heaven's guidance. There is one final ascent waiting for you. Heaven is ready. Chosen one, before we enter this holy ascent, pause for a breath so deep it reaches the places inside you that haven't rested in years. Let the noise of the world loosen its grip. Let every fear you carried today slide quietly to the side. This moment is not ordinary. It is consecrated. Heaven is closer than your breath, reaching toward you with a tenderness your spirit has been longing for, a nearness you have felt but could not name. Lift your heart now, beloved soul, because what is about to unfold is not just prayer, it is alignment, it is sealing, it is the final embrace of everything heaven has been orchestrating throughout this entire journey. You are stepping into a sacred exchange. Your worries for God's wisdom, your heaviness for His healing, your uncertainty for His clarity. Feel the shift rising around you like a gentle, holy wind. Something deep within you already knows this is the moment you've been prepared for. Chosen one, breathe again, slowly, calmly. Let your spirit answer the invitation of heaven. Holy Father, we come before you with reverence, not as strangers, but as children you have carried through storms unseen. We thank you for every moment of guidance, for every whisper of comfort, for every barrier you removed that we never even knew was there. Lord, You have walked beside this chosen one through fire, through silence, through nights heavy with questions, and yet you never released their hand. Tonight, draw them deeper into your presence. Cover their mind with clarity. Cover their heart with peace. Cover their path with direction so unmistakable they cannot confuse it with anything else. Father, surround them now with your light, the kind that exposes lies and illuminates truth. Let no shadow remain. Let no residue of fear linger. Let no old story rewrite itself. Fill their spirit with the assurance that the path ahead is holy, protected, and divinely crafted. Let them feel the weight of your promise resting gently upon their life, that they are chosen, that they are guided, that they are anointed for what comes next. And Lord, release over them the victory you declared long before this moment. Every chain broken, every delay overturned, every hidden attack dismantled. Let Isaiah 54:17 stand over their life in full authority. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. May this truth sink deeper than doubt, deeper than fear, deeper than memory. Chosen one, place your hand over your heart. Feel the steady rhythm, feel the certainty building in the silence. This is not just your heartbeat, this is agreement, this is alignment, this is the echo of heaven settling into your spirit. And now, beloved soul, if this prayer is awakening something in you, if you feel a holy stirring rising like a flame inside your chest, let your voice join the movement. Type, "I rise now" in the comments as your declaration, your agreement, your spiritual signature that you receive what heaven is releasing in this moment. There is more God is about to pour out. Let your heart stay open. Chosen one, stay in this posture of stillness, because heaven is not finished working in you. There is a presence settling into the room where you are, subtle yet unmistakable, like a warmth that flows through your chest and quiets every anxious corner of your mind. This is the Holy Spirit drawing nearer, not to observe, but to intervene, to wrap your spirit in a covering that no darkness can penetrate. Beloved soul, tilt your heart toward God now. Let every guarded place open just a little more. Let every tension soften. You have carried so much for so long, and heaven is tired of watching you bear what was never meant to be yours. Tonight, the Father is reclaiming the burdens you tried to manage alone. He is lifting the weight that drained your strength, softening the memories that bruised your spirit, and untying the knots that kept your confidence bound. Holy Father, we step deeper into your presence. We ask that you pour over this chosen one a peace that presses into their bones, a stillness that sinks beneath every thought and silences every whisper of doubt. Let your presence reach the places inside them where fear used to hide. Let your light touch the memories where pain once lived. Let your voice overwrite the lies that tried to shape their identity. Breathe into them the truth of who they are to you. Beloved, protected, destined, sealed. Lord, we ask for restoration in places they thought were beyond repair. Restore their confidence where it was shaken. Restore their joy where it was drained. Restore their clarity where confusion tried to take root. Restore their hope where disappointment lingered too long. And Father, let every fracture in their heart be strengthened by your healing touch. Let every scar become a testimony of how deeply you carry them. Chosen one, feel this truth wrap around you. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not overlooked. You are being rebuilt from the foundation up, piece by piece, breath by breath, moment by moment, by hands far more loving than your own. Heaven is not patching you. Heaven is remaking you. And now, Lord, release divine protection over every step they take. Let angels surround every entrance of their life. Let no energy that drains them cross the threshold of their peace. Let no counterfeit connection approach their destiny. Let no hidden attack prosper. May your presence be their fortress, your wisdom be their shield, and your voice be their direction. Father, we pray for spiritual elevation. Lift them into the dimension where clarity flows effortlessly, where discernment rises instantly, where peace becomes their atmosphere, not their visitor. Let them walk with the confidence of someone who knows heaven stands behind every step. Let their spirit rise above old patterns and outdated fears. Let them sense your nearness in every decision, every conversation, every crossroads. Chosen one, breathe this in. God is not just guiding you, He is going before you. He is preparing the opportunity before you arrive, preparing the blessing before you pray, preparing the path before you take a single step. You are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into orchestration. And beloved soul, if your heart is stirring with recognition, if your chest feels warm or your breath feels deeper, let heaven hear your agreement. Comment Amen as a declaration that you accept this protection, this restoration, this rising. There is still a final release heaven is preparing for you. Chosen one, stay right here in this holy stillness, because the Spirit is not done pouring into you. Something sacred is unfolding in the unseen, something that has been waiting for the exact condition of your heart in this moment. You may feel a heat rising in your chest, or a soft trembling in your hands, or a deep calm settling behind your thoughts. These are not emotions, these are indicators. Heaven is touching the deepest levels of your being, the layers you never show, the wounds you never name, the places that shaped you without your consent. Beloved soul, tilt your heart upward. You are stepping into a moment where God Himself leans close. Holy Father, we come again with reverence as you continue your work in this chosen one. We ask that your presence move into every chamber of their soul with precision and gentleness. Reach the places they've hidden, even from themselves. Heal the fears they buried. Untangle the disappointments they tucked away. Smooth the fractures that once made them feel unworthy of love, unworthy of peace, unworthy of blessing. Let your presence seep into their spirit like light through cracks, filling every hollow place with restoration. Lord, breathe strength into their identity. Let them no longer see themselves through the fog of old battles, but through the clarity of your intention. Let them feel chosen, not in theory, but in truth. Let them feel valuable, not by what they produce, but by who they are to you. Let them feel protected, not because the world is safe, but because heaven surrounds them with an unbreakable shield. Chosen one, hear this with your spirit. You are stepping out of who you had to be and rising into who you were always meant to be. Father, release a wave of inner liberation over them now. Free them from every emotional attachment that drains their joy. Free them from every invisible agreement that held them back. Free them from every weight they carried because they thought they had no choice. Let your truth dismantle the lies that once shaped their decisions. Let your clarity silence every voice, internal or external, that tried to convince them they weren't enough. And Lord, let your favor begin to move in their direction. Let opportunities align with precision. Let resources flow where they were once restricted. Let divine timing open pathways no man can close. Let their steps be ordered with such clarity that confusion becomes a stranger and hesitation becomes a rarity. Chosen one, something is shifting in your atmosphere right now. The heaviness you once felt is loosening. The pressure at the back of your mind is thinning. The fog around your decisions is lifting. This is God preparing your spirit for what He's about to place into your hands. And Father, we ask that you continue this transformation. Strengthen their inner world until it becomes unshakable. Sharpen their discernment until deception cannot enter unnoticed. Anchor their peace so deeply that no storm can uproot it. Give them courage to walk into the future without dragging the past. Give them vision to see what heaven sees when it looks at their life. Beloved, if your heart feels lighter, if your chest feels warm, if your eyes feel like they're clearing, this is the Holy Spirit confirming that something is breaking open for you. Let heaven hear your agreement. Write, "I claim my breakthrough," as a declaration that you receive every word, every touch, every shift taking place in your spirit. There is still one more outpouring heaven is preparing. Chosen one, remain in this sacred calm because heaven is ready to seal everything spoken over your life. This is the moment where the divine meets the ordinary and transforms it forever. The atmosphere around you is shifting even now, settling into a peace that feels deeper than silence and stronger than certainty. Let your spirit widen. Let your heart open fully. Let this final outpouring reach the places inside you that have waited the longest to be healed. Holy Father, we enter this closing moment with awe. You have walked this chosen one through revelation, through alignment, through restoration, and now you prepare to crown them with your blessing. We ask that your presence rest upon them like a mantle, soft, steady, immovable. Let your voice echo inside them long after this message ends. Let your wisdom rise in them when they wake. Let your peace follow them through every room they enter. Lord, seal their future. Let no force of darkness interfere with what you have ordained. Let no whisper of doubt unravel what you have spoken. Let no remnant of fear remain in their spirit. Cover their steps with divine protection. Surround their home with holy fire. Place angels on assignment at every doorway of their life. Let every decision they make from this moment forward flow from clarity, strength, and unshakable faith. Chosen one, feel this blessing settle over you. You are covered, you are guided, you are prepared, you are rising, and heaven is going with you. Father, we ask that you ignite their calling with fresh fire. Let creativity flow without resistance. Let opportunities appear without striving. Let abundance reach them without delay. And may every blessing you release multiply, not just for their sake, but for every life they will touch, every atmosphere they will shift, every destiny they will inspire. Chosen one, know this: your journey does not end here. It unfolds from here. Heaven has marked you. Heaven has guided you. Heaven has rewritten your path. And now, beloved soul, as you step into the days ahead, walk with the confidence of someone whose name heaven has spoken, whose destiny God himself has touched, whose future is already crowned with victory. Let your life become testimony. Let your voice become light. Let your presence become healing. And if this message has stirred something powerful within you, if it has affirmed what your spirit has been sensing, if it has lifted you into a place of peace and clarity you've been seeking, then you are now part of this spiritual family in a very real way. So before you leave this sacred space, I invite you, subscribe to stay connected. Like this message, so it reaches another chosen one who needs it. Share it as a seed of encouragement to someone walking through their own awakening. And finally, if you feel led, not by obligation, but by the gentle nudge of the Spirit, consider offering a super thank as a way of planting into the very ground that feeds your spirit, not as payment, not as duty, but as an act of alignment, as a small gesture of gratitude toward the light that has touched you tonight. Many who give describe feeling a strange warmth afterward, a sense of release, a confirmation that they've participated in something holy. If your heart feels that pull, follow it. Heaven always recognizes a willing seed. Chosen one, until we meet again, walk in peace, walk in purpose, walk in the fullness of what God has awakened in you.